Imagine sitting in your living room watching a movie when suddenly a black hole the size of a pinhead drifts through the air right in front of you, not in the sky, not far away in some galaxy, right through your coffee table. And that tiny dot of nothing weighs more than Mount Everest. So what happens if a tiny black hole passes through your living room? First, let us set the stage. Black holes this small are not the giant monsters you hear about in space documentaries. They are closer to cosmic marbles. But instead of glass, they are made of pure gravity. They bend space itself so hard that even light cannot escape. And unlike a star-sized black hole that sits quietly out there in the galaxy, this one is moving like a bullet. By the time you blink, it is already gone. That might sound safe. A quick visitor, a drive-by cosmic tourist, but the physics is anything but safe. Even though it is tiny, the gravity is extreme. As it sweeps past your sofa, the floorboards creak and bend. Your glass of water leaps upward like an invisible giant just flicked it. The cat gets pulled an inch sideways with wide eyes, wondering what just happened. For a fraction of a second, your entire house feels like a trampoline getting poked from underneath. The black hole does not gulp down your television or your sofa in one bite. It is far too small for that. Instead, it eats in microscopic sips. It swallows atoms one by one along its path. Imagine dragging a sewing needle through a giant loaf of bread. You would not notice the missing crumbs, but they are gone. That is what the black hole does to your walls, your couch, and maybe you. Now imagine the path. It enters your front wall and exits out the back, leaving behind a perfect invisible line where atoms used to be. To the human eye, it looks like nothing. Maybe a faint spark or a flash of radiation if you are unlucky. But on the atomic scale, your home now carries a scar carved straight through it. If that line crosses your body, the result is strange and terrifying. You do not explode. You do not vanish. Instead, you are left with a hole, the width of a proton running clean through from front to back. It would pass so quickly that you might not even feel it at first. But the damage at the cellular level would be catastrophic. At this point, you might think, okay, at least it is gone. But here comes the twist. Tiny black holes do not live forever. They can evaporate by spitting out energy. And if the one in your living room is small enough, it could burst apart as it leaves. That burst would not be gentle. It would release energy equal to thousands of nuclear bombs in the space of a teacup. Your living room would disappear in light brighter than the sun. And so would the rest of your city. If it does not explode, then it keeps going. It punches straight through the floor of your house, the ground beneath the street, and the layers of the planet itself. It tunnels through like a ghost drill. As it travels, it continues nibbling atoms. A proton here, an electron there. The Earth shrugs off the loss, but the path is real. Geologists might one day find a bizarre, invisible tunnel through the crust and wonder what happened. The black hole then pops out the other side of the planet and drifts back into space, never to return. But here is the second big twist. What if, instead of racing away, it slows down just enough to get stuck? Then it orbits through the Earth over and over like a trapped bee inside a balloon. Every pass, it steals more atoms. At first, it is harmless. Scientists might not even notice for years, but slowly it grows. The losses build up. Decades later, strange things begin to happen. Volcanoes erupt in odd patterns. Oceans start to drain in weird places. Eventually, the Earth itself begins to collapse. And all of it started in your living room with something smaller than a grain of sand. So the climax is this. A black hole the size of a speck of dust could leave you with nothing more than a weird invisible scratch through your rug. Or it could explode with the force of every warhead on Earth. Or if it decides to stay, it could eat the entire planet slowly from the inside out. All of those outcomes are possible. And they are all terrifying. But here is the wrap-up. You are still here. Your living room is fine. Your coffee table is fine. The cat is probably fine too. That means this has not happened, which is very good news. Because the universe may have strange ideas of fun, but so far it has spared your sofa. So the next time you stare up at the night sky, remember that black holes are not just faraway giants. Even the tiniest ones carry enough power to flip your world upside down. or erase it completely. If you like these wild thought experiments, hit like and subscribe so you never miss the next impossible question. What if the ocean suddenly turned into soda?